Hello, 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 everybody. So glad you're here. All right, today I want to talk about creating my portfolio. I am super excited and to be able to take the time to be able to really curate some of my favorite photography. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the process. So if you'd like to make a portfolio, you can make a portfolio too. So the platform that I'm using is called SlideShare. And you'll see I can only pick 20 pictures for my project or for my application. And so I picked out 20 that I like so far, but I might change it as I go along. But these are the thumbnails of the project. And let's go ahead and check these out. So if you press on the thumbnail, it gives you where you can do the title. And then you can also write in additional details about the photograph. So this one's called Squeeze a Day. What a lovely day it is for an art teacher to find extra paint. That's what this photograph is about. I was teaching art and found extra paint in the old art closet. I took this black and white photo and I like the simplicity and the greening quality about that. As we squeeze a day, I hope that you will enjoy this journey with me. So I'm kind of like writing a story to the people who are going to see my portfolio. Hopefully they'll like my quirkiness and and that they'll enjoy the exhibit, the online exhibit. All right, so if you want to view the photo, you can go ahead and click, and then it allows you to adjust for size. So I'm zooming out there. Whoopsies. I'm zooming out so you can zoom way out or zoom in. All right. So, and it's lovely, thankfully, to be by a fire. We've been wanting a place with a fireplace for a long time. So thankful for the fireplace, and it's snowing outside. So happy January 2022, everybody. All right. So this is my next photo that I picked. Also a simple photo. I love mid-century modern. And I thought this was really cool because I love the colors and the simplicity of this one. If you look close, you can see my reflection taking the picture. This was taken in Monterey and the Carmel area. Every year in Carmel, pre-COVID, they would have a car show, and in the Monterey area, they would often have the 1950s cars by the wharf, and I really love this. Lots of special memories. My husband and I, we would bike up to the wharf and see the cars, and I just thought this one was super duper cool. So I took a photo of it, and I really like the angles. Also, old cars remind me a lot of my dad because he was a mechanic, and he was just awesome and loved cars too. So it reminds me of him. I wish he could have seen some of these cool cars with us, but perhaps he was with us in spirit. All right, this one's called Cisco from the I can't talk today. I've just been teaching for like 6 hours. Anyways, so this one's called Cisco from the tour bus. And it is just that. We were on the tour bus. You can see the cable lines, and we're around in that corner. And we're in the Haight-Ashbury neighborhood. So as such, I wanted the picture to have a little bit of a trippy quality to it. So I played with some of the focus as well as the light, and you can see the lovely architecture, the sweet couple walking. You can see the inside of the bus. Love the architecture, it's beautiful. So that's one of my favorite photographs. I spent a little time in post-production. I like to add a little paint as well. I like the layering of paint. When at my grandmother's house, she had an old black and white photo that was hand painted, and it was just really gorgeous. So I like that aesthetic, and so I try to incorporate some of that aesthetic and into my photography as well. All right, let's see which. Oh, this is from the Santa Cruz Boardwalk. These are the sea swings, black and white photo. This one I played with the focus as well. You can see great detail if you zoom in. I need to research how old this ride was, but it was pretty cool. You can see a lot of the detail. See how close we can get in. It was all hand painted there. Let's see. And then we see the chairs floating. We see the people. So I just thought it was a playful picture. I'm still trying to decide on a name for it. Right now I call it Tempo. But I'm still trying to decide on a name for that one. All right, next we have dance. And I love dance. I used to take dance a long time ago. I probably should start tap dancing in the kitchen just to get some exercise. Plus it's fun. So this one's called Dance. This is a photograph I took at our apartment during the initial part of the pandemic. I was taking a lot of photographs by freezing flowers and ice, and this is one of them. So we'll go ahead and take a close-up view. And that is called Dance. And I use a light box behind the photograph. I put it into a little baggie, or I put a baggie over, depending on the item. I'd put a baggie over the ice box, over the lamp box, and that would help so it wouldn't like leak. I didn't want to electrocute myself. So that is where you get the light from the background, just show that translucency of the petals. All right. This one's called 2 feet 9, and my husband helped me think of the name for this because it looks like a 9, the seagull, and then 2 feet. And well, anyways, so I was learning more about the different tools and how to edit and different things and post-production. And I haven't had any formal training in photography, but my husband is super, super talented, and he does audio visual as well. And I learn a lot from him. And also I've been researching different things online and just also playing with different apps and different features. And so I was like, I wonder what he'd look like as a swirl. So I swirled this seagull. I really like swirls, even since I was little. Just the movement of the swirl and its calming effect. And indeed, when I took art therapy classes in college, they said that swirling will calm students, and so ode to the swirl. All right, this one is my freckled friend. I call this one "Got My Eye on You." It is a lovely horse off River Road in Monterey, and I used to teach art like an hour away. Couldn't find an art job that was close to us, and so I drove an hour each way. And during car week, it was like over 2 hours. It was cray cray. And anyways, so I would see these horses sometimes, and they were across from this gas station that I would sometimes go to get a little snack or whatever on the way home. Anyway, so I saw these horses, and every time when I'd walk up to this fence, this horse would greet me, and he was so cool. And they're just majestic animals and just peaceful. And so I added some paint onto the picture, and this one's got my eye on you. He's kind of like looking, and I just thought it was really cool. And I like his little ears too. All right. Next, we have a picture from a field trip, and this is from a field trip to the De Young Museum in San Francisco. And I love how the kids are all playing, and they're just playing outside, having a super duper fun time. Um, Climbing up and down. So I call this skip now hop because it's kind of like the follow the leader, and it's like skip now hop, and everybody's just following along. And I thought it was super duper fun. And then also notice the lady at the desk. I kind of wish that I had gotten more of that in. So I probably should have taken a couple more photographs. What I learned from this is I need to take more photographs that are wider than I think the frame should be, so that if I need to narrow the photo or need to include something that I might not have initially saw, so I need to widen that. I also added a little light flare to that, kind of like I love pink and purple, and so I want to add a little energy light flare bulb. All right. All right, this one is a butterfly monarch, butterfly wing. And in Pacific Grove, there's this huge butterfly garden, and it's a natural habitat for butterflies, and they migrate, and then they they nest in the trees. And so this is a monarch wing. Let me go ahead and zoom in on this. Do, 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 do. All right. So some of it's more blurred than other parts. Eventually, I'd like to get a really, really clear, crisp macro camera. That's one of my goals. So that's Monarch Butterfly Wing. Love the colors on this. Okay. And our next photo is called Space Petals. All right, so with this one, I added a lot post-production, but I just thought it was cool. So I added, I imagine all these petals growing in space and just floating around. So this one's called Lemons. And so I was just exploring with the positive and the negatives of the picture, and like the bright neon colors. Lemons. All right. Lemons. Oh, my foot just fell asleep. Okay. And then this one is Sardines. It's from the Monterey Bay Aquarium. Super duper fun. And I use a toy lens with this. I wanted to get that quirky blur in there. I love how they're in this one. There's like this tank, and they're like swimming around in circles, and occasionally you'll see one sardine swimming the other way. It's just kind of cool. I just love it. And they swim so fast. Oh my goodness. Sardines. All right, and this one I call Reservations, and it is in the San Jose airport at night. I just love that it was like empty. I like I like the chair, the design of the chairs. Um, I just thought it was a cool picture. For some reason, I don't know why, but it just kind of like, I feel like there's a story that needs to be told about this picture, but I'm not sure what it is yet. I like to take art and tell stories as well, like um, what if stories. Like what are the stories of the people that sat in those seats before? Where were they flying to? Why was the gate empty? So it's just kind of like a picture that could prompt stories. And a lot of times when I'm teaching my kiddos, I'll use photography and art to my students with their creative writing. And so this one has a lot of potential for my students to be able to tell stories about this piece. So I really like this one. All right, so this one's called Umbrellas Under a Technicolor Sky. And this one I took when we were in Big Sur. And so I really thought this was cool. I love Rene Magritte, and he inspired this. I love his sense of repetition. And that one's called Umbrellas Under a Technicolored Sky. And then we have bowling shoes. I took this at Monterey Bay Lanes. And my husband and I, Mr. Gilly, where he's in the kitchen there, were were bowling, and I like leaned over. I was like, I'm gonna take a picture of them bowling shoes. And anyways, so I really like the picture. Sometimes I'm a little bit quirky as far as some of the pictures I take, but I just love this. I love how the shoelaces are kind of like going over to the next cubby, and the way some of the shoes are placed. And again, going back to that repetition. And then we have this one's called Lime Kiln. And I took this in Big Sur. And my husband and I were in Big Sur, and we saw a lot of birds there. And thankfully, my husband was throwing some breadcrumbs, and some of the birds came to visit us. And I like how this one bird is really soaring. So he's just like soaring above the water. It almost looks like it's actually a little stream, and it almost looks silvery. And so you see him flying. I do wish that on this photo that I had taken a wider photo, because I wish this little guy was involved, like in the picture more. And then we have this one. It's called the L Train in Blue. And we got the microwave going in the background. And so this is the L Train in Blue. And I wanted to add texture. I'm really big into textures. And so I want to keep exploring textures and photography, especially to be able to support children with low vision. I want to help support them. And so I'm really interested in texture and photography, and would like to explore that as well. And speaking of special needs and photography, a lot of times, even though I haven't had the formal training in photography, I'd like to integrate photography in with my when I was teaching fine arts. And like on rainy days, we would go on puddle walks, and all have our cameras, or the kids would have their phones, and we'd take pictures. And what I thought was really interesting is a lot of my students who were on the autism spectrum really took fantastic photos. And as a teacher, it gave me like a window into what they were noticing. And I could build and connect with the students more, and we could talk about things, and it opened up conversations for us. So that's the L train in blue, and you can almost hear the squeak of the L train. And you see a woman with a backpack walking quickly, and lots of cars. And then there's a parking lot as well underneath that. and then the lovely windows of the buildings. I just thought it was cool. So thought I'd share. My husband was like, put the camera away. This is a city that doesn't forgive. Put the camera away. And I'm like touristy, taking lots of pictures. And then, so I try to do it quick when I'm in the city, take a quick picture. All right. And then this one is called Sunflower. I'm not sure if I'm going to change the name on this one, but I have it in lots of different colors because I couldn't make up my mind. It was like inspired by Andy Warhol, like how he did a lot of the different colors of the different prints. And but this one is actual sunflower. It was by the side of the highway in Monterey. And so I just love this. There was this big, big, big sunflower. And I was just like, I got to get a picture of that. It was gorgeous. And then we have Resiliency. This picture was taken in Chicago, at my sister-in-law Chris's house when I walked our Odie and our dog Odie. And so this one's called Resiliency. And this was after the rain, and you can see some raindrops if you look close enough. And then I added some paint to it. This is called Resiliency. Still looking for the bigger file on this so that when you zoom in, it's a little bit more crisp. So that's Resiliency. This one, thankfully, I was blessed at the fair, at the Monterey County Fair, and I got a blue ribbon for this one. So I was like, yay. So that was awesome. And then this one is a tube of paint. So I figured I started with the tube, ended with the tube of paint. It's all squeezed out. And this one I call La Fin, the end. And I hope you enjoyed my portfolio in the making. Still trying to decide on a couple photographs, but I thought I'd share my process with you. And I'm also going to share this with my students as well. Yay. And have a wonderful day. Bye.